Without a proper snow removal crew and snow removal equipment, an airport would have to shut down until the snow melted. The snow removal crew has a specific routine, and operation they follow every time they go out to clear the snow. Though a car can carefully drive through a little snow, an aircraft landing in the same amount of snow would be much more dangerous due to the speed and weight of the aircraft. As an aircraft lands or takes off from a runway, it is crucial that maximum traction and minimal rolling resistance is at hand. Landing or taking off from a snow-covered runway would make it very easy for the aircraft to lose control and flip over. Braking action reports of the runway are frequently taken and updated during a snowstorm. They are reported as good, fair, poor, or nil. The braking condition action is important for the pilots to know how much traction they will have during takeoff or landing. For all the airplanes already in flight, the runways must be dry and clear in order for them to land. If the runway has 3 inches of snow buildup, the aircraft, which is potentially full of passengers, would have to circle until it is clear. This is very inefficient to the flow of traffic and costly to the airline company. It is also extremely important to have a clear taxiway. Taxiways are the second highest priority in the event of snow accumulation. Taxiways clear of snow are necessary to promote a safe, slippage-free commute to the runway. It would be easy to slide right into an active runway with a landing airplane due to a low coefficient of friction or poor braking ability. The third priority in snow removal is the ramps. Ramps need to be snow-free in order for the aircraft, utility vehicles, and service vehicles to move around and complete their tasks as usual. Parking aircraft would become an issue with snow on ramps because the ramps need to stay clear for the snow removal crew to pass through with all of their equipment and vehicles. Obstacles make snow removal very difficult. Since the vehicles travel in a formation of multiple vehicles pushing the snow in one direction toward the airfield off of the ramps, having an aircraft parked in the middle of the ramp would simply make their operations impossible without diverting from their routine route. Other areas of interest to keep snow free are all sidewalks and access roads to airfields. Although these are not as high a priority as the runways, taxiways and ramps are necessary to the standard operation procedure of the airport, and snow would certainly affect that. At a standard airport, the snow removal operation is completed using jet brooms, sand and potassium acetate hauler spreaders, plow trucks, snow blowers, and front loaders. All vehicles have their own tasks and do something different. The most important tool at the airport is the jet broom. The jet broom trucks have 16-foot wide rotating sweepers. The sweeper trucks are dispatched immediately after accumulation. The reason for this is that the sweepers are only able to handle a small amount of snow before it begins getting clogged, and the airport needs to avoid closing the runway. The jet brooms are so desirable because of their ability to leave behind an ultra finish. The pavement becomes much clearer of snow and moisture after a pass with the jet broom rather than a plow. If the snow accumulation happens faster than the brooms can keep up without clogging, then plows must be used. The snow plows use special poly blades to reduce wear and tear on the pavement and lights. The snow plows are attached to a 6-wheel dump truck, which is plenty of truck and traction to handle the heavy plow and snow. The snow plows are 16 feet wide, but because of the angle, each plow cuts roughly a 14-foot wide path. The snow plows and brooms both must run an angle to avoid too much weight in front of them. If the blades were perpendicular to the trucks, the snow in front would build up and up and up, and the weight would exceed the traction and torque abilities of any truck. Since the blades are angled, the snow gets pushed off to the side, keeping the weight in front of the truck to a minimum. Roughly 2,500 pounds of sand is used every year. The sand is used for traction over snow and ice. Salt may not be used in the vicinity of an airport because of how corrosive it is to aluminum and other metals. If salt gets on an aircraft or service vehicle, the lifespan quickly diminishes. Snow blowers and loaders are also used. The snow blowers are attachments put on the front of a loader. The snow blowers can move up to 5,000 tons of snow per hour. The snow blowers are helpful in moving the snow off of the runways, taxiways, and ramps and into the airfield. If a pile of snow was made, it would be more than likely in the way or reduce visibility. This is why the snow blowers are helpful in throwing the snow far into the grass area between taxiways and runways. The loaders are used to push the snow up to a certain point and to collect the snow, and the blower then takes over to put the snow in its final location. Loaders are very helpful in pushing a large amount of snow with their 30-foot blade. These are especially useful on ramps. Typically, a formation of 4 16-foot jet brooms is run down the runway, taking 4.5 minutes per pass, with 4 passes minimum to cover a 150-foot wide runway. The runway can be completely cleared in as little as 20 minutes. Through all of these operations, if 2 inches or more of snow accumulation occurs, it is possible that the runway gets closed. When a runway gets closed, it is plowed to get the bulk of the snow off and then swept. All vehicles have a radio so they can be in communication with the ground control. When in a movement area, one person is in charge of talking to the tower, and the rest of the crew is required to acknowledge on a different frequency to each other that they copied the controller's instructions. Removing and melting snow from an airport is significantly more complex than operations around a town street due to the different styles of equipment and safety involved with aircraft on snow.